Welcome to Conflict 501, the distance learning course. I'm glad that you are enrolled and we can make our efforts pay off if we work together on this course. I'm your professor, Dr. Ericson, and as is customary in this school, you can call me by my first name, Rob. Like you, I have a number of interests outside of my work. I enjoy hiking, fishing, swimming, traveling, reading, and thinking about conflict resolution. I love learning and have spent a lifetime in education, either as a student or as a teacher. As an undergraduate, I studied physics and played football at Macalester College in St. Paul, Minnesota. After that, I went to graduate school at the University of Kentucky. After getting my MS in physics, I joined the U.S. Air Force, and the Air Force sent me to Texas A&M, where I studied 3 semesters to get a weather forecaster certification. I used the GI Bill to get my MBA at George Mason. One of the highlights of that program was the summer I spent at Fitzwilliam College at the University of Cambridge, England, studying the European Economic Community. As I was nearing the end of the program, I decided it would be good to know a little bit about conflict resolution in the business world. I took Conflict 501 as an elective in the last semester of my MBA program. That got me interested in the discipline, and I was able to get into the PhD program that I finished in 2007. I find among my students a number of different interesting practices. My practice is teaching. I love it. I started by teaching astronomy because I had done space physics work in the Air Force. To represent this work, here's a picture of the Sun and a beautiful planet, Saturn. But Saturn is nowhere near as beautiful as the blue one, my favorite of all the planets, with its contrast between land and water, and between the surface features and the clouds. Now my teaching practice focuses on conflict resolution, helping you achieve your goals. I want to metaphorically hand the earth off to you, placing it in your capable hands, in hopes that you will have the skills needed to improve it. One of the highlights of my career was commanding the Lyrma Solar Observatory on the northwest cape of Western Australia. In the Air Force, you really do get to see the world. Having lived or worked in Alaska, Hawaii, Guam, Japan, the Philippines, Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Australia, New Zealand, Puerto Rico, England, Ireland, France, and Italy. In my career, I worked with Filipino meteorologists, Italian engineers, Australian scientists, and even Jesuit fathers. There is no place like the military when it comes to dealing with conflict. Everywhere I went, I had to resolve conflict, internal and external to the organization. Since retiring from the Air Force at a young age, I've worked for a number of contractors supporting NOAA, the National Weather Service, and the FAA. I enjoy that work. The people are intelligent and the opportunities for meaningful contributions are numerous. For you, there may be many opportunities to practice conflict resolution skills. I'd like to share a bit about my value system. I believe in giving back of your talents and resources. Starting with George Mason University, I will tell you the same thing that my professors told me when I graduated from the PhD program. The school needs your help, your time, your contributions, your support, and your encouragement in whatever way you are able. Here I show you some of the places where I volunteer, and hope that as you progress in your career, you will be able to do volunteer work as an outreach. Whatever your talents and resources, I encourage you to give back to the community and the world to help those in need. In this course, I want to connect with you and help you to be the best conflict analyzer and resolver you can be, even if you don't end up in our profession. I'm strong in conflict theory. That was the focus of my dissertation. I consider myself to be fortunate to have been associated with some of the best people in our field and students who continue to amaze me. I'm sure this group will be no exception. I wish you success in all of your endeavors and whatever you do after you leave the school. Some of you have already traveled the world and will have even more opportunities to expand your horizons. So whether it's in Africa, Asia, the Middle East, Europe, or the Americas, I hope you enjoy your work. Whatever your value system, if rooted in an Abrahamic religion or one of the ancient belief systems, I encourage you to stick with your values. Respect other people's values and leverage your spiritual identity to make your life more fulfilled. If you apply yourself in this course, I'm confident that you will be successful, and with whatever you have learned here, you will accomplish much in your current and future vocation.